Hi, it's Wendy. So we were out hiking today at Roaring Camp, and I found all these great little gifts of nature in bright colors and then in earth tones. And I'm going to do some painting and show you how you can get inspired by nature.
Well, I'm back home and I brought the nature home with me. I'm going to finish this project here at my studio, and I have a photograph that I took of the items that I gathered when we were hiking. And so I've done a couple sketches here. I've done a little bit of color swatching, and what I wanted you to see was just how easy it is to take an item that you gather, like this pine cone that I picked up, and I have a little photograph of it right here because I can't obviously put the pine cone in my sketchbook. So this little photograph reminds me, and that's why I like to take the photographs and then cut them out and glue them in my sketchbook. But this sketchbook for me is a study of color and shape and sort of my memories of where I've been. So it doesn't need to be perfect. So I'm just going to hold the pine cone, and I'm just loosely holding my pencil at the end. And what I'm going to do is just kind of look at the shape and just kind of wiggle the pencil around on the paper and loosely gather the shape of the pine cone. The whole point here is to do color and shape and not have it to be perfect. And then I'm just gonna sort of draw some little scallops that I might see in the pine cone, which captures the personality of the pine cone without taking, an hour to draw a perfect drawing. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I've kind of got the shape, and I've got, some of the little edges of it in there. And then I can just kind of set it aside, and now I can paint it up, and I've got the picture right there. And over here I still have one of these leaves, even though it's been a couple weeks since we were out at Roaring Camp. The leaf kind of kept its color as it dried. So I'm going to go into that color, and I'm just going to start dropping it in. And I took some time earlier to sort of color match, which is really fun. I find it very soothing to do that. None of this needs to be perfect. This is all experiential, and it's about color and shape way more than it's about getting the drawing right. Don't let yourself be paralyzed because I can't draw, I don't know how to draw. Don't worry about that. If you want to paint in nature, just look at shape and look at color. The drawing and all that type of stuff, it'll follow with practice. So I'm just dropping a little bit more color in, kind of painting the things that I see. I want to put a little bit of yellow in here, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'll just do another little color swatch of that yellow. Right, like that. And I think I'll take this yellow and bring it on down into this dandelion that I sketched up earlier. And there's still quite a bit on my brush. And again, I'm just kind of going on dry, like that. And I'm going to go into this yellow that I already chose for the dandelion. It just feels so good to be out in nature and then to connect with those colors, and bring them back home, and then they can be your colors. It's just one of my favorite things to do. And so I've got this orange swatch here. That's kind of like the middle of the dandelion. And then I had this dandelion yellow color right here. And I'll put that down. And there is a stem that's pretty close to these colors I've already swatched for the leaf. So I'm just going to brush that in like that. You're just kind of capturing the energy of the item that you saw in the best way that you possibly can. Now this little pine cone, I sketched it up right here too. So I'm going to go ahead and, there's just getting dirt on my paper. I'm going to go ahead and do that one as well. And I'm just going to drop the color in. Again, it's more about shape. And and you can see me kind of moving around. Kind of those loose brush strokes capture a more organic shape. You can kind of just start with the first layer, start dropping some other color in. I don't need it to look like a pine cone. I know it was a pine cone, right? Just kind of getting the shape down. And for some reason I was really feeling like the purple, and so I actually dropped a little bit of mauve, Cotman mauve, Cotman's the brand, on my palette for this pine cone. So I'm going to swatch those colors right here, and that reminds me, there's like a smoky purple, and then there was more of a brownish color like that. When you look at it, it seems, in the color I can tell right now it's not exactly on. Maybe it's a little bit more, and this is straight up hematite, one of my favorite Daniel Smith colors. It's definitely got more of that. So then I can drop that in on top and darken it. And that to me kind of captures it. That to me feels like the color of that pine cone. Again, I'm not worrying about getting any depth or anything like that. It's just enjoying the color experience and the loose shapes. So let's see, what else do we have here? We have a little bit of green, and there was sort of like a little green, almost dandelion that just didn't quite, I was going to say hatch, didn't quite open. And then there was a little bit of green at the bottom, a bit like that. And then of course we have this green leaf. I'm going to let that sort of sit and dry a little bit before I add more to it. And then I'll come over here to this, this big pine cone that we just drew. And I'm going to start dropping some color in on that. Just kind of following the shapes here. So you can see I just finished. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun working with all the colors, the textures, and the shapes kind of getting in there with the pine cone. I even kind of put some pencil on top. This was a really fun project, and now I have all of this in my sketchbook that I can take with me. It becomes a really nice memory for me, and then I can go on and do a few more pages. So if you would like to stay around for the rest of the video, there's about 3 minutes where you get to see the train at Roaring Camp and my husband and I finishing our hike. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
Hi, it's Wendy. So today my husband and I are out hiking at Roaring Camp, which is in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and there's a train here, and maybe I'll show some footage of the train that we captured. So my husband and I are making the descent off the mountain, and we just hiked under this really old trestle at Roaring Camp. It burned in the, I think I want to say the late 60s, or burned in the 70s maybe. I rode on it as a kid, and now they have a switchback, and so we're just hiking the trail out from under the trestle. And here's the trestle from the other side. There's the trail. And you can see the top of the trestle. And it does go across the road. And now we're going to follow the tracks and finish our hike. As we're leaving Roaring Camp today, we're pulling out, and what do you see in this beautiful field but deer? It's truly a blessing to live in this part of California. Hi, this is Wendy Nolan. I really hope that you enjoy my video, and I thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.